It's not true really, but it's quite fun watching people's reactions.
So if you're in a crowd, you need to be aware that you're all watching to see what the reaction is.
The people in the cars behind have a great time.
Prince William's unexpected decision to approve a title change for Duchess Sophie's children is shaking up royal traditions. This bold move signals a shift in the monarchy's future, blending modern ideals with centuries-old customs. Insiders suggest William's choice reflects his long-term vision, yet it has stunned royal watchers, sparking speculation about its impact on the family's hierarchy. Could this mark the beginning of a broader transformation within the House of Windsor? Prince William's latest decision is reshaping the future of the royal family, shaking the foundations of Buckingham Palace. In a surprising move, he has approved a title change that directly affects Lady Louise Windsor and James, Earl of Wessex. This unexpected shift represents a significant transformation in royal strategy, aligning with William's vision for a modern monarchy that balances tradition with the evolving expectations of the 21st century. For years, the royal family has carefully navigated the fine line between preserving centuries-old customs and adapting to an ever-changing world. Now, with King Charles III facing health challenges and shifting public attitudes toward the monarchy, the landscape is changing. With King Charles and Princess Kate's ongoing health battles, including Princess Kate's cancer diagnosis, Prince William has taken decisive action. His latest move not only strengthens the royal institution but also challenges long-standing assumptions about who should take on key roles in the future. At the center of this groundbreaking decision are Lady Louise Windsor, 20, and her 16-year-old brother James. As the only children of Prince Edward, Duke of Edinburgh, and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, they have led relatively private lives compared to their high-profile cousins. From the beginning, their parents deliberately chose to forego the titles of His and Her Royal Highness for their children, allowing them to grow up with greater freedom and less public scrutiny. However, that quiet life may now be coming to an end. Buckingham Palace has confirmed that Lady Louise and James are now recognized as key members of the royal family, with their roles set to expand. With King Charles III's approval, Prince William has formally recommended that they take on greater responsibilities and increase their involvement in royal duties. Though brief, this announcement carries enormous implications. It represents a shift away from King Charles III's previous firm stance on a streamlined monarchy, where only the direct line of succession, including himself, Prince William, and Prince George, would shoulder primary royal duties. Now, the tide is turning. Insiders suggest that the king's declining health has played a crucial role in this shift. As his public engagements decrease, Prince William has taken on a greater share of royal responsibilities. Meanwhile, the departure of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle from royal life, coupled with the aging senior royals, has created a growing need for reliable figures to step up. By bringing Lady Louise and James into the royal fold, William is ensuring that the monarchy remains stable and does not become overburdened. More importantly, this decision speaks volumes about the kind of monarchy Prince William envisions, one that values loyalty, quiet service, and a forward-thinking approach to royal duty. As the heir apparent, Prince William is now one step closer to the throne. Unlike his father, he is unlikely to endure a long wait, as King Charles is already in his 70s. This means William will ascend the throne within a much shorter period of time. Lady Louise has already gained admiration for her grace and intelligence, while James, despite his young age, is seen as a steady and responsible figure. Their increased involvement signals a future where trusted family members, rather than a small, select group, help carry the weight of the institution. However, this decision has sparked controversy. Some royal experts praise it as a necessary step to strengthen the monarchy, while others view it as the beginning of a larger shift that could redefine how royal titles are granted or even revoked. Could this be a sign of even bigger changes on the horizon? If so, what does it mean for the younger generation, including Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis? To understand the future, one must look back at the past, the legacy of the Duke of Edinburgh. The Duke of Edinburgh's title carries a legacy deeply rooted in British royal history and holds great significance in the story of Lady Louise and James. This prestigious title, synonymous with duty, service, and tradition, was most famously held by Prince Philip, who bore it for over 7 decades. His tenure as the Duke of Edinburgh left an indelible mark, shaping not just the royal family but also millions of lives worldwide through his tireless advocacy for youth development, education, and environmental causes. Prince Philip was granted the title in 1947 upon his marriage to then Princess Elizabeth. King George VI bestowed this honor upon him, recognizing both his Danish and Greek royal heritage and his new role within the British monarchy. Over the decades, Prince Philip transformed the title into a symbol of service, using it to champion causes close to his heart. One of his most enduring legacies is the Duke of Edinburgh's Award, a global initiative that has inspired and empowered young people for generations. When Prince Philip passed away in April 2021 at the age of 99 after a series of health issues, the title automatically transferred to his eldest son, Charles, who was then the Prince of Wales. However, the succession of this dukedom was never intended to be permanent in Charles's hands. Upon his accession to the throne in September 2022, the title reverted to the crown, leaving its future uncertain. This unprecedented moment led to widespread speculation and debate over who would ultimately inherit the esteemed title. Traditionally, it was widely expected that Prince Edward would receive it. Philip's youngest son was long expected to be granted the dukedom, a belief not only rooted in family ties but also in a formal declaration made by Buckingham Palace in 1999. At the time, the palace confirmed that both Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth II wished for Edward to one day inherit the title in recognition of his unwavering commitment to his father's causes. However, when Charles became king, he did not immediately fulfill this long-standing agreement. For 6 months, King Charles hesitated, carefully weighing his options. Reports suggested that his reluctance stemmed from his vision of a streamlined monarchy, in which only the most senior royals carried major titles and responsibilities. Granting the Duke of Edinburgh title to Prince Edward would mean cementing his place within the royal fold, a move that did not necessarily align with Charles's long-term plans. Then, on March 10, 2023, Edward's 59th birthday, Buckingham Palace made an official announcement: King Charles III had finally decided to honor his parents' wishes, conferring the title upon Prince Edward. For royal watchers, the decision was both a relief and a surprise. The official statement from the palace declared that Prince Edward would hold the title for his lifetime. The hesitation surrounding this appointment raised questions. Was King Charles III's delay due to bad blood or bureaucracy? The truth lies in a strategic adjustment to the future of royal titles. While this appointment recognized Edward's decades of quiet dedication to royal service, it came with a significant condition, one that altered the future of Edward's children. Unlike most hereditary dukedoms, the Duke of Edinburgh title would not be passed down to James, despite his bearing the title of Earl of Wessex. Instead, upon Prince Edward's passing, the dukedom would once again revert to the crown, allowing the reigning monarch to decide its next recipient. This strategic move has led many royal experts to speculate on the future of the title. Some believe it is being safeguarded for Prince Louis, the youngest son of Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales. By keeping the title within the direct line of succession, King Charles ensures that it remains a key asset in the monarchy's evolving structure. However, while much attention has been on Prince Edward, the focus now shifts to James Alexander Philip Theo Mountbatten-Windsor. At just 16 years old, James, Earl of Wessex, is the youngest nephew of King Charles III and currently stands 16th in line to the British throne, a notable shift from his birth position of 8th during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Born on December 17, 2007, at Frimley Park Hospital, James was given the courtesy title of Viscount Severn, a nod to his mother's Welsh heritage. Despite being entitled to a princely title under the 1917 letters patent, his parents, Prince Edward and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, opted against it. Instead, they chose to raise James and his sister, Lady Louise, with a sense of normalcy, shielding them from the intense scrutiny that has historically defined royal childhoods. His birth occurred away from the media frenzy that typically accompanies royal arrivals, as his parents sought a quieter path for their children. Throughout his early years, James remained largely out of the public eye, with his education taking priority. He began his schooling at Eagle House, a prestigious preparatory institution in Berkshire, before moving on to Radley College, an esteemed all-boys independent school in Oxfordshire. His parents emphasized a balance between personal development and royal responsibilities, ensuring he had the freedom to carve his own path. However, despite his low profile, James was never completely absent from royal affairs. His first major public appearance came in 2016 when he participated in the carriage procession at Trooping the Colour. As he grew older, his presence at significant royal events became more pronounced. He attended the Platinum Jubilee celebrations in 2022 and played a notable role at the coronation of King Charles III in 2023. One of the most defining moments of James's young life came in September 2022 when, at just 14 years old, he joined his sister Louise and 6 royal cousins in standing vigil around the coffin of Queen Elizabeth II at Westminster Hall. This silent tribute displayed not only his deep respect for his late grandmother but also a growing sense of duty, despite his otherwise private upbringing. Now, as James approaches adulthood, an important question emerges: will he embrace a more active royal role? The recent shift in his title to Earl of Wessex signals a growing recognition of his place within the family. Like his sister, he has the option to adopt the His Royal Highness, Her Royal Highness, styling when he turns 18 in December 2025. Insiders suggest that James mirrors his father's quiet and reserved nature, making it possible that he may choose a life away from full-time royal duties. However, his involvement in key royal events hints at the possibility of a supportive, albeit less visible, role in the monarchy's future. While the world waits for James's next move, another royal is already stepping into the limelight: Lady Louise Windsor. She has long remained one of the royal family's best-kept secrets. Born prematurely on November 8, 2003, her arrival was anything but ordinary. Her mother, Sophie, then the Countess of Wessex, suffered a life-threatening placental abruption, prompting an emergency C-section at Frimley Park Hospital. At the time, her father, Prince Edward, was miles away on an official trip. The suddenness of her birth sent shockwaves through the family, but from that very moment, Louise displayed a quiet resilience that would come to define her. Unlike many of her royal cousins, Lady Louise Windsor was raised largely out of the public eye. She attended St. George's School in Windsor before moving on to St. Mary's School in Ascot, experiencing a childhood relatively free from the constant scrutiny that typically accompanies royal life. Despite the privacy she was afforded, she remained deeply connected to the traditions of her family, particularly through her special relationship with her grandfather, Prince Philip. Of all his grandchildren, Louise was perhaps the closest to the late Duke of Edinburgh, as they shared a passion for carriage driving, a sport he championed for decades. This bond was immortalized when she inherited his driving ponies and carriage, a deeply symbolic passing of the torch. It was a gesture that spoke volumes about her place within the royal fold, even as she remained in the background for most of her youth. In recent years, however, Louise's role has subtly yet unmistakably begun to evolve. While she was always present at major royal events such as Trooping the Colour and the Platinum Jubilee, it was her participation in the vigil for Queen Elizabeth II during her lying in state that caught the world's attention. Standing alongside her brother James and their royal cousins, Louise displayed a poise and dignity that left many wondering if she was finally stepping into the public spotlight in a more official capacity. Beyond her royal obligations, Louise has carved out a unique path. In 2021, she became the first modern royal to take on a summer job, working at a local garden centre. The move was widely praised, marking her as refreshingly grounded despite her lineage. Then, in 2022, she enrolled at the University of St. Andrews, the same institution where Prince William and Catherine first met. This parallel did not go unnoticed by royal watchers, further fueling speculation about her future within the monarchy. However, it was her boldest move in 2024 that truly set tongues wagging. Choosing to join the British Army's University Officer Training Corps, Louise signalled not only an embrace of discipline and leadership but also a possible interest in military service, an area traditionally reserved for senior working royals. This decision, combined with Prince William's recent strategic moves to strengthen the younger generation's role, has led many to believe that Louise may soon receive a title of her own. Could she one day become a duchess in her own right? Some experts argue that, as a direct granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth II, she is one of the best-positioned young royals to take on an expanded role within the monarchy. While her mother once suggested that Louise would likely decline an official title, recent developments hint at a shift in direction. As Louise's journey within the royal family takes a fascinating turn, one question looms large: what role will her mother, Sophie, play in shaping her future? Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, has led a royal journey shaped by fate and legacy. Though she may not always dominate headlines within the royal family, she has been a quiet force of dedication and loyalty. Since marrying Prince Edward in 1999, she has steadily built a reputation as one of the monarchy's most steadfast members. Often described as a trusted confidant of Queen Elizabeth II, their bond went beyond mere family ties. Sophie frequently joined the late Queen for afternoon tea at Windsor Castle, engaging in long conversations about duty, tradition, and the ever-evolving nature of the royal institution. It was a relationship built on mutual respect, one that made Sophie an invaluable advisor, particularly when it came to guiding younger royals through the expectations and challenges of their roles. Despite her deep-rooted contributions to the royal family, there was one title Sophie never received, one that could have drastically altered her position within the monarchy. In an unexpected twist, it was Prince Edward's own decision that reshaped their trajectory. When he married Sophie, he was originally expected to receive the prestigious title of Duke of Cambridge, a title that later went to Prince William. However, history took a surprising turn, all because of a movie. According to royal insiders, Edward had recently watched Shakespeare in Love, a film featuring a character titled the Earl of Wessex. Something about the name captivated him, and he reportedly asked Queen Elizabeth II if he could take that title instead. In a rare moment of indulgence, the Queen agreed, and so, instead of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Edward and Sophie became the Earl and Countess of Wessex. At the time, the decision may have seemed trivial, but it ultimately influenced the couple's visibility within the royal family. Had they taken the Cambridge title, they might have been thrust into greater prominence years earlier. Now, decades later, Edward and Sophie finally hold a ducal title, having been granted the title of Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, a position that honors the legacy of Prince Philip. The transition reflects the ongoing reshaping of the monarchy, with Buckingham Palace making strategic adjustments under the reign of King Charles III. However, while titles may shift and responsibilities may evolve, another lingering mystery casts a long shadow over the royal family, the enduring influence of Queen Elizabeth II. Her passing was more than just the end of a historic reign, it marked a pivotal moment in royal history. For 70 years, she had been the monarchy's anchor, guiding Britain through wars, societal shifts, and changing public attitudes toward the crown. With her departure, the institution found itself at a crossroads, navigating a delicate balance between tradition and modernization. However, beyond the public spectacle of state funerals and global tributes, one question remains unanswered, one that has intrigued royal watchers and insiders alike. What secrets lie within Queen Elizabeth II's sealed will? What hidden legacies did she leave behind, locked away from public view? The answers to these questions could redefine everything we thought we knew about the Queen, her fortune, and the future of the monarchy. Stay with us as we uncover the mysteries of Queen Elizabeth II's hidden legacy, her wealth, power, and the future of the royal family. Secrecy has always shrouded royal wills, and Queen Elizabeth II's was no exception. Unlike the estates and treasures tied to the crown, which are publicly accounted for, the details of her wealth, valued between £370 million and £500 million, remain hidden away from public scrutiny. Yet, historical precedent and royal tradition offers valuable clues about how Queen Elizabeth II's fortune, heirlooms, and estates were likely distributed among her family. Unlike the £16 billion crown estate, which belongs to the monarchy as an institution, her personal assets followed a different path, one shaped by sentiment, legacy, and strategic royal planning. Among the most significant inheritances was the Duchy of Lancaster, a vast private estate worth over £600 million, which, as expected, passed directly to King Charles III, securing his financial independence as sovereign. Meanwhile, Prince William inherited the Duchy of Cornwall, an estate valued at more than £1 billion, providing a stable income for the Prince of Wales and ensuring the continuity of royal wealth. Beyond financial assets, some of the Queen's most personal possessions carried deeper meaning, none more so than her private residences. Unlike Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle, which belonged to the Crown, Sandringham House and Balmoral Castle were the Queen's personal properties, adding layers of complexity to their inheritance. These estates held immense sentimental value. Sandringham was where King George V spent his final days, while Balmoral remained the Queen's most cherished retreat, the very place where she spent her last moments. Upon her passing, King Charles III inherited both estates, further cementing his role as the monarchy's central figure. However, discussions emerged about Sandringham eventually being passed to Prince William, aligning with his future responsibilities as king. Balmoral, in contrast, remained a deeply private family retreat, serving as a symbol of the royal family's Scottish heritage. Perhaps even more personal than these estates was the Queen's private jewellery collection, which consisted of over 300 pieces, including tiaras, brooches, and necklaces, many carrying significant historical and sentimental value. Unlike the crown jewels, which are state property, these heirlooms were hers to pass down as she saw fit. Reports suggest that Queen Camilla, as the new Queen Consort, received several key pieces to uphold royal tradition. Meanwhile, Catherine, Princess of Wales, and her daughter, Princess Charlotte, were rumoured to have inherited some of the most sentimental jewels, ensuring that these treasures remained within the direct line of succession. But what of Prince Harry? Despite stepping away from royal duties in 2020, he remained the Queen's beloved grandson. Given the secrecy surrounding her will, speculation swirled that she may have left him personal mementos, letters, jewellery, or items of profound emotional significance. The only confirmed inheritance Harry and William shared came from their great-grandmother, the Queen Mother, who left behind a £14 million fortune split between the brothers. However, Harry's departure from royal life meant that he no longer received income from the Duchy of Cornwall, a financial break that symbolised his definitive separation from the institution. Beyond wealth and possessions, Queen Elizabeth II's most enduring gift to her family was her legacy, one of duty, resilience, and continuity. As King Charles III settles into his reign and Prince William steps into an even more prominent role, every estate, every title, and every heirloom is no longer just a personal inheritance but a carefully orchestrated move to secure the monarchy's future. In a world where the relevance of royalty is increasingly questioned, these decisions shape not just the royal family's stability but also the public's perception of them.